I've been using Pinterest to like find inspiration, and that's where I got the pictures for the other video that I posted. But maybe I can draw like figures or like redraw those like Pinterest images in this art style. So far in my sketchbook, I have done just a few pages. Let me show you the last painting that I did though. Don't you like? Everyone wants to find an art style, but here are 3 tips I think are useful in order to help you develop your art practice. Find art that inspires you. I personally like artists like Aaron Douglas and Kerry James Marshall because I like the figures that they portray in their work. Both of their works has a lot of flat shapes, abstract figures, also the fact that they're Black artists as well, and storytelling. Find a topic you're interested in. My interests derive from my need for representation. As a Black woman myself, I want to represent people who look like me in my art, so that is what inspires me. I love Black culture in general, so I try to implement that in my own artwork to bring some sort of familiarity between my peers and I who have grown up the same way that I have, or just are a part of the culture that I am a part of. Build your portfolio and work. I feel like it's very important to just continue to practice because this is not something that comes overnight. So if you're truly dedicated to like building your portfolio or just having a cohesive body of work and not in a sense where you're just copying the same thing over again, but really growing throughout your art practice, I think it's important for you to just start and get to making art. That's really the biggest thing of it all. And you shouldn't be focused on whether people like your art or not, but whether you feel like you are progressing and are taking something from your last piece and moving forward to the next. During my middle school and high school years, I transitioned into going to an art school for high school. Throughout those years, I attended a pre-college where I was able to gain exposure to other cities and other students who were also aspiring to go to art schools. And that's where I kind of broke out into like the style that I developed. But I will say, having a style is not something that you achieve, or it's not a reward for something. To me, others might say that there's no such thing as an art style, but I personally think every artist has their own way of expressing themselves, and that itself is an art style. Whether you believe in your art style or believe that it's good or not is something that is personal to you. And I think being confident about your work really helps you develop something that is personal to you, and that's basically what an art style means to me, something that is personal to me. It was one semester in high school, maybe I was a senior, but at school we were able to meet advisors from different art colleges and universities, and at that point I was not satisfied with my work, so I really wanted something to change, and I started experimenting. And so I started to think like, how can I think of an image, like collage certain aspects of an image together. So thinking of like realism and using shapes and colors and applying that together and collaging it together. During that year, I went to a pre-college, and at the pre-college, I don't know what happened, but something just sparked, and I drew this portrait of my grandmother, but instead of like painting the whole face true to real life, I was like, why don't I change her skin color? And then I thought about, okay, what does that mean? Like, what am I trying to tell? And I really think the process in which I paint or make art, because it's not just painting for me, at least, is important. So when people ask me what it's about, it's definitely about something, and I can always go into that. but the process of it is also important. So my thing is, I always want to signify beauty for those who look like me and representation. So beauty was one of the main important topics. I wanted to use a color that I thought symbolized beauty and, was eye-catching. So I used this color blue, and I was like, wow, that's really speaking to me. And then over time, when I went back to school, it started to develop more and more and more. I really developed that idea of like what beauty is to me. And anything that you make is your style automatically, I think where artists struggle is that they're not specifically confident or knowing of what they're actually making, and they're looking for a destination to find a place where they're comfortable and satisfied and know a specific style that is acceptable by others. But the truth is, your style is something that you are eager to make or comfortable at, or that you truly genuinely like. And even though I have developed this sort of way of expressing myself through my art, I also think it's important to note the fact that I still sometimes wonder, like, what am I doing, or like how I want it to look, because I might want to like paint the skin normally, or I like to do digital art sometimes, so I'm still trying to figure out. I'm always looking for a way to improve my art and expand my art. So yeah, I just wanted to touch on art style in particular, and I think the number one way of just honestly finding your style, if you are looking for it, is to keep going, keep practicing, and definitely write down an artist statement. What does your art mean to you? Like, I think that's the most important thing, and it will definitely come. Thanks for watching this video. Subscribe, like, and comment. Bye.